do you believe there is a thing as the one? If so, how did you know he was the one?
Interesting.
Only one I love. Ooh, the only one I love. Ooh. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back, okay? Thank you guys for all your love and support. It means so much to me, okay? A few days ago, we celebrated 10 years together, 10 years in a relationship.
That's yesterday.
Yesterday, actually. Yesterday, we celebrated 10 years together. We started dating in October 2012.
Yep.
So I was just 19 and he was 20. So we're kind of celebrating a decade together.
Yep.
And in January, we'll be 5 years in marriage. So we just decided, you know what? I put out I think a question on Instagram. I told people to ask us any question that they would like to know. Just ask us what they would like to know about our marriage and how it has progressed, how it has changed since moving to the Netherlands as well. So a few of you guys sent in some questions. So we'll be answering those questions in this video.
Yep.
All right, guys. So the first question that I have here, actually, somebody asked on Instagram, Soy TC, I think. I don't know if it's a he or a she, but the person wanted to know how we met. So the question is, how did you guys meet? I'm going to allow my husband to let me see how much he remembers. So I'm going to let him tell this story. Let me know. How did you meet?
I think when it comes to how we met, if you're not talking about like started the relationship, how we met, we first met in year 2 in school. Well, maybe you guys don't know, we actually went to the same university together. And I think I've known you since 2010.
Yes, absolutely.
And I also think that's when we had not had a conversation since then, but I just knew there was somebody existing, you know, like
yeah. I was just that girl,
you know, who's just, you know, roaming about minding her business, and then I was minding my own business.
Yeah.
And sometime in 2011, that was when we had a course, and I was a course rep, and then you had to ask me a question like that, you know, and that was the first time we exchanged numbers for to get extra information about our courses.
Absolutely.
And yeah, that was more like, so if you put it as the first time we met, that was actually officially the first time we met, and that was 2011.
Yeah.
I think that was early 2011.
2011. I think we met in 2010, late 2010, 200. At least I think that was the first time I noticed.
Yeah.
Maybe I had seen you in school. We went to the same university, obviously. And we're also doing a lot of courses together. It was like engineering background, sort of. So yeah, I remember noticing you in 200 level when you came to make an announcement in Hall of Mercy, which could accommodate up to 1,000 students, if I remember.
Yeah. So
I remember seeing him, and he was really well dressed, well articulated. And I was like, who is this person looking like a politician? I can never forget. That was my first impression. I was like, who is this person looking like a politician? Because then in school, the people that always looked well put together were people who were campaigning
more into politics, campaigning for one
student position, and also. And lo and behold, he was actually a politician. So I was right, absolutely. So yeah, that was how we met. Right?
But I wasn't really dressing like that because I was a politician at that moment. I was dressing like that because that was really how I loved to dress.
Oh, okay.
So for those who don't really know, I would tell you for a fact that the first time I actually wore a pair of jeans is actually here in the Netherlands. When I owned one. Because I didn't like it. I always loved my plain trousers, you know, well ironed, you know, with the getters and all that.
Don't worry, I'm gonna
pretty much, you know, shirts ironed and also that was just me.
I'll put in some pictures here so you see how serious he used to look like. But it was nice. I mean, you were good looking then. You're still good looking now.
Oh, okay. With my bald head.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
The hair is already fading off.
It's for the rich man. Rich people are bald. Anyway, yeah, that was how we met. In terms of relationship, maybe you can say a bit. Do you want to go into details about?
No, not just on the surface level. Relationship started in October 2012, and yeah, it just happened. Really, it's not something I can really explain how, or if it was really much planned up to that point, But then it just happened, and we kind of fancied each other and all that. Okay, yeah, then let's just give this a shot. And officially was 31st of October 2012. Yeah, it's really funny that it's like a decade ago already, 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Wow.
It is. It's like, where did time go?
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I remember when, I don't want to go into details on this story, but I think a year after we started dating,
Yeah.
I remember a few of my friends would tell me stuff like, yeah, you guys are still too excited because it's your first year. Wait until you've dated for 2, 3, 4 years,
Yeah,
and then you
exactly.
see.
And then, because you guys are also like in the same school or something,
Yeah.
when you graduate, it's all going to be like different. And I was like, okay, yeah, you have your opinion.
Exactly. We had ours.
intentions.
Exactly.
Simple.
Yeah, I agree. The second question is not about relationship. People tend to ask me questions about my stay in the Netherlands, but the person asks, it's still so to see, she or he asks, how can I find a PhD in the Netherlands? So to see, if you're watching this video, I'm going to put a video up in the cards for you to check out. I do have lots of videos talking about how I got my PhD, how to go about it, and what it's like doing your PhD here in the Netherlands. So I'll link these videos and you can check them out, okay?
Well, majority of stuff can be found online anyway. So yeah, you can find anything. You can find almost anything online.
I agree.
Yeah.
Maybe the videos will give them more direction.
Yeah. What exactly to look out for when you're looking for a PhD.
Absolutely. Yeah. I agree. Yeah. Another question, it was Leah, my friend, my Dutch friend.
Oh,
Leah.
Oh.
She asked,
if you're watching, hello.
Hi. She asks, how do you cope with the struggles of your soulmate? I don't think I understand perfectly, but when you say struggles, is it how we cope with
Probably with challenges, every relationship should have challenges.
Yes.
So I think what she means is more like how do you cope with, with the challenges probably you get to experience or we get to have or something. So yeah.
Okay. So yeah, you're gonna start. I'm gonna let him answer the difficult question.
No, for me, I think it's all very much simple.
Yeah.
Mentality is actually one of the most important things. For your soulmate or for your partner, you've always known that person.
Yeah.
You always know what the person is capable of.
Okay.
So because at a moment you have maybe challenges or ups and downs, it doesn't mean that that's actually a representation of the person.
Yes.
So you don't use that at that moment to judge the person like fully. So the way I see it is more like, yes, it's just a phase, it will pass, provided you're more willing, or provided I'm more willing to, or we are more willing to understand ourselves, understand the situation, and forge ahead together. You can pass through almost anything, and that's majorly what we've been able to do.
I would like to also see her question from a different angle.
Okay.
That it's not just about both of us having issues, but how do you deal with when one of your partner is struggling in another area of their lives and is then beginning to affect the relationship?
Oh, okay.
You understand?
That's also another angle anyway.
Yeah, it could also be. So for me, how I would deal with it differently is that I'm very, I always say it on this channel, I'm very religious.
Yeah.
And the way that I would tackle my partner's problem is the way I would have tackled my own problem if I had faced that issue.
Yeah.
And I know that if I'm facing something so severe that is affecting my marriage or is beginning to affect our relationship, I would definitely pray about it. I would definitely talk to you about it, and all that. So I will do the same. I'll really pray for you, and then I will try to have a conversation with you so that you don't feel alone while left out while going through that. Yeah, that's how.
Yeah, that's also another angle.
So the next question also is about Netherlands. So this person asks, did you move to the Netherlands for school? Do they have scholarships for masters? Yes and no. So I moved to the Netherlands for PhD, which is school, but PhD in the Netherlands is not run as if you're going to school. So you're like a researcher who is working for the university. Yeah. And then for MSc or masters, there are a few scholarships for masters. for some universities. I have seen a few, but because I didn't do my master's in the Netherlands, I'm actually not so knowledgeable about the details and the process and how it works. So I'll definitely recommend checking online. What I usually would do is to say, to search on Google, I would say master's scholarship for African students in the Netherlands, or master's scholarship for Nigerian students in the Netherlands, like that. So with those type of searches, you'll be able to see a few things, at least some answers, I would say. So the next question is from my friend Nonso. She said, do you believe there is a thing as the one? If so, how did you know he was the one?
Interesting.
Only one I love. Ooh, the only one I love. So, do you believe in the one?
I don't think so.
Okay. So that means you would have chosen someone else.
I'm big on mentality.
Okay.
You know, so as long as the mentality is there and the will is there to push forward, you know, as long as you're making that decision. Like sometimes I see loving someone or, you know, being in a relationship, not just as an emotion or as a combination of feelings, but I see it more like as a product of the decision, an active decision that you're making. Yeah. So it's irrespective of, oh yes, this is the one. What's the definition of the one? How do you define it? Is it based on physical characteristics? Is it based on what? If it's physical characteristics, they're like 2,000,000,001. The ones. If you base it on that, right? You know, and then for every one, there's always a better version of that one. You know, so it never ends. Yeah. So I think for me, the major thing is whichever one you have decided to choose, and then you need to make that decision. And the decision is more like two ways. You know, this is what we are agreeing to do, you know, do it and you focus. Yeah, and I couldn't agree more. I mean, like some people believe that God created, or for those that don't believe in God, they say the universe created someone like your soulmate specifically for them, which kind of devoids them of a choice, which is what I don't agree. That's why an active role, yes. So I believe that there are so many people that are compatible in terms of, you know, some people are easier to ride with and all of that. But I don't believe that God created one person for you. Yeah. Because I mean, what if something happens to that one? You will remain single forever. You move to two. You move to plan B. If the one doesn't so was I plan A or plan B? Plan C. Anyway, oh yeah, so I absolutely agree with you that it's a decision. I feel like God always allows us to have a choice in everything. He didn't make robots, he made humans with a will. So it definitely has to be two people who are willing to work together. And there's something someone mentioned, I think I watched it in a YouTube video, I can't remember, but the person said she doesn't believe that there is the one before marriage, but once you're married, she believes that you are now the one. Because it's now like we are in this together forever and all of that. And some people may disagree. I mean, some people will be like, I will not die in marriage. I did not say you should die, but but you really need to understand that marriage is not a joke. So when you're going into it, you're choosing. Yeah. So the next thing the person said is Liana. She said, no questions, just want to say I admire and love you so much. Praying my life turns out as yours. Girl, the first one, thank you very much. But the second one, no. Please don't pray for your life to turn out like mine. I pray that your life turns out even better, okay? Yeah, more like the way that suits you. You know? Yeah. The last question that I have here is Emmy Cole said, how do you find mortgage in the Netherlands? The first thing is to literally approach any bank. Just call any bank and tell them you want mortgage. They will be so excited to give you a 1 hour. And know, okay, how can we process this for you? Exactly. You can also get a mortgage advisor. We use the mortgage advisor in our own case, so you can get a mortgage advisor if you want. But honestly, knowing at least where you stand in terms of mortgage in the Netherlands is not difficult. You just need to
call up a mortgage provider, Rabobank, ABN AMRO,
Yeah.
And all of that. And they will give you all the details you need to know. Yeah. Okay, guys, so thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Yeah, and please, guys, consider subscribing. It will mean so much to me. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys, once again.
Thank
See you in my next one.
Bye.
Bye.
Set me off with the